So listen to this prediction, right? This is my prediction, my thought. I feel like in the near future, the ocean is going to be a no-go for us. They're going to tell us to stay out the water. That's what I feel like in the future. When, I don't know, but I feel like it's going to get to a point, it's going to get so bad with the different creatures and things that's in the ocean, it's not going to be safe for us to go in there. No swimming on the beach, none of that. That's what I think. All right, let's check out some other conspiracy theories concerning rivers in the water. All right, let's go.
Have you not seen this? What? Hold up. There's more. That's a reptilian. Remember that. This is another one. These are recent discoveries. I'm going to show you where they're from. Pause to look. Jordan River dried up, and this is what they discovered. These statues. And this shit ain't no joke. Jordan River has finally dried up, and now this has emerged. In this video, we explore the shocking phenomenon that is taking place in the Middle East. The Jordan River has dried up, revealing something incredible that has been hidden for centuries. As we delve into the history and significance of the Jordan River, we discover how it has played a pivotal role in shaping the region's culture, religion, and politics. Pause to read the rest. This is crazy. I always said, if we ever had an opportunity to remove all the sand in the Sahara Desert, we would find some crazy. If we were able to lift all the water out of the ocean, we would find some crazy shit. Everything that we know in existence is not just on the surface. There's in the middle of this planet we have no clue about. There is shit buried, hidden, just like the hole that opened up in China and they revealed a whole forest and new life. This world is a crazy, weird place. Have you not?
Now, we've talked about the Euphrates River and different rivers drying up and things are starting to be exposed and shown that maybe a flood might have overtaken maybe a village or something like that. Different things, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to be all bad when these things start revealing themselves. We don't have to think everything is going to be bad. We're going to find some important answers to history. You know what I mean? On the flip side of that, we are going to see some bad things as well. Certain things is bad. And also these rivers drying up, what does that mean? You know what I mean? Some people, they take it to a biblical sense. Some people, and they say this happening is a result of this was predicted, and this means this. You know what I mean? So some people take it to a biblical sense. However way you look at it and spin it, this stuff is happening right before our eyes, bro. We've been talking about the Euphrates, Jordan River, all of that for a minute. This stuff is interesting, man. You know what I mean? And a lot of theories have come from this stuff.
Something changed fundamentally today in my understanding of the city of Toronto and of the world at large. Sometimes things come into your life that just shake you up, that take the tread tracks of snow of your mind, your mental habits, the winkles in your brain that have gotten deep and overrun, and shakes it like a snow globe to change your whole conception of the world anew. And for me today, that was a walking tour of Tattle Creek.
What's that?
Creek, you say? Where's the water? That's a great question. It's buried underground. Underneath the city of Toronto is an entire vast network of buried creeks and streams and rivers deep underground that have merged with the sewage system. And this, apparently, is where it starts.
I think it's interesting, man, seeing somebody get unplugged out of the matrix. It's fulfilling to me, man, to see that and to see their whole perspective and mind change. Oh, that's fulfilling for me, man. You know what I mean? Me finding out that there were rivers in the ocean under the water. Mind-blowing to me. You know what I mean? Finding out that at the core of this earth could be different things. Mind-blowing to me. Like, so much that we just don't know and we're starting to discover. I'd love to see somebody like discover things, man. It's little things in life. These huge circles, man. I don't know, bro, because when you think it's one thing about these huge circles and different things that they discover, this one says, I just found these gigantic crop circles along the river Euphrates, hundreds of them. They tell us crop. Farmers do this, different ones do that, and they do it for this specific reason, you know? And this could very well be true, but you got to be at least a few percent skeptical of everything they tell you. So is it crop circles? It could be. Something else could be happening as well. You never really know.
Unknown creature made major headlines in South Korea because it tried to sneak its way across the Han River. And you're not going to believe it, but news agencies were reporting on this incident because of a popular movie in South Korea that's called The Host, and it's about a monster in the Han River.
The Euphrates River is an ancient waterway that has played a vital role in shaping human history. However, it has been gradually drying up in recent years, plunging millions of people into a period of unprecedented drought. Spanning from Turkey to Syria.
That's the unfortunate part of that. You know what I mean? What it's doing for the people who have relied on that river for however many years, centuries, you know what I mean? So that's the unfortunate part. The uncovering of different things and the discoveries we'll make and everything like that, that's good. But at the hands of those people, that's the unfortunate part.
Syria and then Iraq, this long stretch of river has been the major source of water in the region for over 10,000 years, sustaining human civilizations and allowing them to flourish. However, the drying up of the Euphrates is not entirely unexpected, as it has been predicted in a terrifying prophecy that seems to be coming true. The significance of the Euphrates River in human history cannot be overstated. It has been responsible for creating the Fertile Crescent, a part of ancient Mesopotamia where the first and oldest recorded agricultural practices originally began. The Euphrates River has been an important feature of many fascinating stories and historical events. Among these is the supposed discovery of the tomb of King Gilgamesh, an ancient ruler of the city of Europe. The Epic of Gilgamesh, which recounts the life of this king, is considered a Middle Eastern literary masterpiece and was written 2,000 years before the birth of Christ. According to the book, Gilgamesh was buried under the Euphrates River in a tomb constructed after the river's waters parted following his death. Let's go back in time to 2003. German explorers and archaeologists led by Jörg Fassbender found an ancient tomb that they believe belonged to giants that roamed the earth centuries or even millennia ago. The researchers reported that they discovered the bodies of massive giants and sent them to laboratories for testing, including carbon dating. Since the discovery, not much...
Heard that, right? We've sent skeletons found. Has anybody heard anything from that? No. But anytime we bring up the conversation about giants, nobody seems to know what we're talking about. Nobody seems to understand or think they once existed or roamed the earth. It's always shot down. But yet we found things allegedly, even according to this right here, and we've sent them to what? Scientists, to research, museums, different things like that, whatever you want to, wherever they send them to, and nothing has come back. This is all a giant conspiracy, man. It makes no sense of what's happening.
Much has been said about it, and it has been kept under wraps. As expected, the discovery has been the subject of some controversy. In the story, Gilgamesh was described as a giant who was 17 feet tall. He was reportedly the son of a Sumerian king and a Mesopotamian goddess, and ended up ruling over the land of Uruk, which later became a wreck.
The Euphrates River dried up and this mysterious cave appeared. Archaeologists have discovered some extremely interesting and unusual artifacts as the Euphrates has begun to dry up. Some have even speculated that these caves were jails. However, this is all supposition. Religious leaders have used passages from the Book of Revelation as proof that the end times are approaching.
Has anybody else heard the story? As far as what was sent down there or buried down there? Was it angels? Was it the Nephilim? I can't recall. I remember us speaking about it though, and they said they would be revealed once the river dried up or something like that. You know what I mean? Don't quote me on that. I ain't the best when it comes to recalling history fact or historical facts and stuff like that. But I remember hearing something about things being buried down there, and this clip here kind of reminded me of that. Whether it was angels, the Nephilim, or whom it was, but said it would be revealed once it dried up, though.
Have you heard about the creepy sounds coming from the secret tunnel under the Euphrates River? After a portion of the river dried up, expeditions led to the discovery of a tunnel that went deep into the earth. And these are the sounds that are said to be heard.
See, this is exactly what I was talking about. Either fallen angels or something like that supposed to be down there. And you're supposed to be able to hear it.
These sounds are said to be the sounds of the fallen angels. Let me know what you think.
Fallen angels, that's what it was. I knew I was somewhat closer in the vicinity and different things like that. I just couldn't recall, man. Listen, I partied a lot as a youngin'. You know what I mean? So the memory recalling feature that's in my brain ain't the best. It ain't the best, but nonetheless, I was around the area. You know what I mean? But this is what they were. This is what we were told. So it's interesting. Now, what's the next step? Are they released? Are they coming to do something to us? What's supposed to happen? I don't know. What's the next step after that? That's the question now.
Do you know all the scary things that have been happening at the Euphrates River?
What's going on there?
Okay, so the Euphrates River is actually located in the Middle East, and it's considered one of the longest rivers in the world, but it's actually drying up. Like, it's almost completely dry. But where the river's drying up, they're actually finding caves and different structures that have been under the river this entire time. But it's actually really scary that they're finding this.
I don't get what's so scary about that.
So what's crazy is the drying up of the Euphrates River is actually written in the Bible. And in the book of Revelations chapter 9:14 through 9:15, it says, "Release the 4 angels bound to the great river Euphrates." And then it says the angels were released to kill 1/3 of all mankind.
So what you're saying...
Okay. Keep them down there. Keep them down there. Keep them down there. I thought that was the next step. They were supposed to do something to us. Keep them down there. We don't need anything happening, man. I still got goals I ain't achieved yet. Let's keep them down there, bro. Got things I ain't do. You know what I mean? But if y'all gonna get us, come around like time where it's time to pay bills. Like, you're gonna get me like right before then when it's time to pay bills.
Saying is when the river dries up, it's basically the end of the world.
Yeah, and just to put that number in perspective, 1/3 of the world is 2.6 billion people. And it's just super weird that they're finding all these caves under the Euphrates River. Do you know all the scary things that have been...
Despite our advanced technology and vast knowledge, we continue to discover more and more astonishing things about the planet and the universe we live in. In this video, we'll take a look at the weirdest things discovered. From hidden skeletons to a key to uncovering the secrets of the pyramids, here are 20 strangest things recently discovered. Number 20. Hidden skeletons. Pompeii is a Roman resort city that remained frozen in time by the catastrophic eruption of Mount Vesuvius in AD 79. Many bodies have been discovered on the site, but it seems like there's still a lot left beneath the ruins of the once great city. Recently, archaeologists have discovered 2 skeletons buried beneath a collapsed wall in Pompeii. These skeletons were discovered during excavations at the House of the Chaste Lovers, one of the many ruined buildings in Pompeii. Researchers believe that these unfortunate individuals were at least 55 years old and in a stroke of bad luck found themselves in the wrong place at the wrong time. It seems that just before the volcanic eruption...
Is it just me or those things look pretty big? Or maybe that's just because the spine makes them look like that. I don't know. What y'all think?
They sought refuge inside the utility room of the house. But as fate would have it, an earthquake struck, causing the collapse of the building and sealing their fate. The entire upper section of the wall detached and crashed into the room, tragically crushing and burying one of the individuals. It's a haunting reminder of the devastating forces of nature that these ancient Romans had to face. These two skeletons are just a glimpse into the lives lost during the cataclysmic explosion of Mount Vesuvius. They serve as a poignant reminder of the tragic events that unfolded in Pompeii all those centuries ago. Number 19. Newly discovered quasi-moon. Astronomers have recently identified something called a quasi-moon. Meet 2023 FW13, the asteroid that's given Earth some company since 100 BC. And we've only known about this cosmic object recently. This space rock is what scientists call a quasi-satellite or quasi-moon. What does that mean? Well, it basically means that 2023 FW13 orbits the Sun in a similar time frame as Earth does. However, it's not heavily influenced by our planet's gravitational pull. In short, you can say that this object is just vibing with our planet, revolving around it. This cosmic partner is estimated to be around 50 feet in diameter, roughly equivalent to 3 large SUVs parked bumper to bumper. That's no small rock. As it orbits the Sun, it also loops around Earth, coming within 9 million miles from our planet. That may sound like a huge gap, but in the vastness of space, it's actually a close encounter. To put things in perspective, let's compare it to Earth's satellite. The Moon has a diameter of about 2,159 miles and gets as close as 226,000 miles to Earth during its orbit. So 2023 FW13 can't compete with the Moon's size. Isn't it mind-blowing to think that even now, in the 21st century, we're still making incredible discoveries about our universe? There's so much out there that we don't know yet, and every new find adds another piece to the cosmic puzzle. Number 18. Scientists solve mystery of Japan's mermaid. For centuries, people have been curious about mermaids, and this alleged specimen in Japan...
Something they also tell us that don't exist, you know what I mean? But somehow it keeps getting brought back up to us, though.
Japan is one of the most controversial so-called evidence of these creatures. This mermaid has been worshipped at a temple in Asakuchi, Japan for decades, and for years, many believed it was the real deal. Recent research, however, says otherwise. Legend has it that this mermaid mummy was caught in the Pacific Ocean off the coast of Shikoku between 1736 and 1741. It was displayed at the Enjuin Temple for over 40 years, with people flocking to see it in hopes of good fortune. The local story goes that these little supernatural beings were believed to be immortal, and there were rumors that consuming their flesh would grant them eternal life. Hopefully, no one tried to consume any of its flesh.
You tell anybody if they do that, they're going to be able to live a long life, they're going to try it. So I guarantee some people actually tried that.
Recently, a team of scientists from the Kurashiki University of Science and the Arts finally got their hands on the mythical mummy. They were determined to uncover the truth behind the legends, so they put it through a series of modern scientific tests. The mummy, measuring a mere 12 inches, appeared to have the head and torso of a small primate combined with the bottom half of a fish. The only skeletal remains were in the lower body, which clearly belonged to a fish. The rest of the mummy seemed like a hodgepodge of animal remains, cloth, paper, and cotton. Some scientists had previously speculated that these mermaid mummies were made by stitching the head and torso of a small monkey onto the fish's lower body. Radiocarbon dating revealed that this mummy could be traced back to the 1800s. It's indeed old, but unfortunately, it's not an authentic mermaid corpse. Whoever put this mummy together had quite the imagination. But why was this mummy made in the first place?
So my question now, excuse me, my question now is, why can't we do that with like the UFO thing we just saw? Remember Mexico brought up the skeletons of the UFOs? Why we can't do that? Why haven't this been done with those? What are they waiting on? See how they do things for some things, and for some things they don't, or they haven't yet? Interesting, right? I just wanted to bring that up to y'all.
Imagination. But why was this mummy made in the first place? Well, that's still a mystery.
Euphrates River finally dried up, and this just showed us something terrifying is happening in the Euphrates River, and scientists have finally revealed what it is. In a recent study conducted by an international team of researchers, they discovered something that could change our understanding of this ancient river forever.
Now, they keep telling us, what's the status on the Euphrates River now? We've been hearing that it's drying up for a while now, right? So what's the status? Nobody's giving like an update on where it's at as far as its capacity levels. Is it still down? Is it completely dry? is it a certain percentage now? Where is it at?
For thousands of years, the Nile has been one of the most important rivers of the world, providing fertile ground along its banks and with it, life. However, something devastating is happening to the Nile, and it could be the world's largest ecological disaster ever.
The water supply is limited. Absolutely limited. This country is one of those very few countries in the world that has no rainfall whatsoever to speak of.
That's the unfortunate part. Though we're searching for answers from history or, you know what I mean, understandings of the Bible, other people are suffering. No rain, water drying up. They're forced to move, and a lot of them don't have the capabilities to do that. You know what I mean? They need help. So while we're sitting back and trying to figure everything out, they're trying to survive. And that's the part of me that it just sucks to hear that. You know what I mean?
This is Isaiah chapter 11, verse 15. And the Lord shall utterly destroy the tongue of the Egyptian sea, and with his mighty wind shall he shake his hand over the river, and shall smite it in the 7 streams, and make men go over dry shod. So in the book of Isaiah, it says that the Nile has 7 major streams. However, when you look up the modern African Nile, it only has 3 main tributaries, 3 main streams. But the Bible states that the Nile has 7 streams. So when discussing ancient Egypt, the focus has to be on the Nile River system of the White Nile and the Blue Nile, which is allegedly the longest river in the world at 4,132 miles long. However, when you combine the Mississippi River system of the Missouri River, 2,540 miles, and the Mississippi, 2,340 miles, you have a total length in miles of 4,890, which is 758 miles longer than the Nile River system that is in Africa. So yes, the Mississippi River system is the longest, which is a strong indication that it was your first Nile River system. So the Mississippi River has 7 major streams, and it flows into the Gulf of Mexico, which possibly could indicate that the Gulf of Mexico was once known as the Egyptian Sea in the book of Isaiah, chapter 11, verse 15.
I don't know about that. You know what I mean? Like, do you trust these maps? Do you trust the maps? I think that's the bigger question. You know, there's been discrepancies in maps for as long as they've been made and created. So can you necessarily go by an individual map? No, I don't think so. But you know what I mean? At this point, what do you know? What do you trust? It's only one way. We would have to physically go out there and measure, compare, however that process would take, and do that, and then see. That would be the only way you get your answer, truthfully. But just going based off a map, I don't think you're gonna get that answer. The reason why I was laughing because some of these videos do they best to try to scare the bejesus out of you. You know what I mean? With this stuff. I mean, the way I look at it is just nothing we can do about it. Pay attention to it. See if it lines up with the things we've learned in the Bible. See if all of this stuff pans out the way it was written, compare, see what scientists have to say about it, what discoveries are being made. That's all we can pretty much do. It ain't like we could stop it. It ain't like we could refill it. Like, there's nothing we can do. I just find it amusing when they add the music and everything to the video and they just try to scare the life out of you. Nah, we're not doing that, you know? But all of these river discoveries, man, and different things surrounding it is interesting. Y'all get at me in the comment section and let me know what you thought of this video. Super, super interesting to me. Till the next one, I'm gone, man.